Hey guys, my name's Ryan.
And my name is Sarah, and today we're going to be talking about something that most of us know, and that is sometimes we want to do something really awesome, but to do it, it would be really hard.
Sarah, I honestly feel like this is the story of my life. But in all seriousness, when I decided I wanted to follow Jesus and I wanted to put my trust in him, my values and my lifestyle kind of changed overnight, and I didn't want to do the things that I used to do anymore. And because of it, I actually lost a lot of friends. I actually spent a couple of nights feeling really lonely, and I had to really dig in and dig deep to stay following Jesus. And God started bringing people into my life eventually, and it was worth it. But there were moments where I really had to cling to him and cling to trust in him.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was really hard losing those friends, but in the end, it was totally worth it. Jesus' way of peacemaking isn't always easy, but it's worth it. Let's watch this God story.
Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. How's it going? So a few years ago, my brother learned how to solve this, the Rubik's Cube. And now he's actually one of the fastest speed cubers in the world. Now me, I'm not that fast, but I did learn how to solve it. And it took a lot of effort, a lot of concentration, a lot of focus, but it was totally worth it because now I have a pretty cool party trick. Things that take a lot of work are often worth the effort. Think about it. When you have to learn a new language, that can be really hard, but then you speak a new language. Or if you have to do a big art project or maybe build a treehouse, that's a lot of work, but then you have something really, really cool to show for it. And that leads me to today's big idea. Jesus' way of peacemaking is not easy, but worth it. In this series, we've been talking loads about peace. We've talked about restoring things to how they should be, or shalom. We've talked about bringing light to the world. We've talked about how Jesus' peace in us helps us make peace with others. And today, we're going to talk about the hard work of actually doing that. Today's God story is from Matthew 5, the Sermon on the Mount. Remember, this is when Jesus was on a mountainside teaching his disciples, and there were big crowds listening in. Let's see what he says next. You have heard that it was said, an eye must be put out for an eye, a tooth must be knocked out for a tooth. Okay, when had this been said? This was written in the Old Testament a few places, and the Old Testament was the only part of the Bible that the disciples would have had at that time. So they would have been taught this eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth stuff since they were little kids. But Jesus adds something really important to this. Let's read it. But here is what I tell you. Do not fight against an evil person. Suppose someone slaps you on your right cheek. Turn your other cheek to them also. Throughout history, lots of people have grown up learning if someone hits you, you hit them right back. If someone takes something from you, you take something from them. But then Jesus comes and shows us this big, radical way of showing love. Don't fight. So Jesus says, if someone slaps you on this cheek, you should turn your other cheek and let them slap that one too. Don't fight back, show peace. That's Jesus' way. Jesus shows us a better way, and no, it's not easy, but it is so worth it. When we don't fight back, the violence often doesn't have the same effect that people want. We win by being peaceful, but Jesus doesn't even stop there. Let's keep reading. Suppose someone takes you to court to get your shirt. Let them have your coat also. Suppose someone forces you to go 1 mile. Go 2 miles with them. Give to the one who asks you for something. Don't turn away from the one who wants to borrow something from you. Do you get what Jesus is saying here? If someone makes you do something to be cruel, then do even more for them. If someone tries to take your shirt, give them your coat too. If someone asks you to go 1 mile, go a 2nd mile just to show them how you're peacefully showing them love. If someone asks you for something, be generous and give it to them. It'll surprise them. It'll shock them. Again, it's not easy, but it's worth it. Why would we go that extra mile or do the extra work? It's because when we do radical things like that, people start to wonder, they're surprised, they start asking questions, and that's our opportunity to tell them about the love of Jesus. It's true, Jesus' way of peacemaking is not easy, but it is definitely worth it. So go show that peace, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Wow, so Sarah, Jesus is actually asking us to turn the other cheek. He's actually saying that when people demand something from us, we actually can give them more than what they're expecting. That's for sure not easy.
No, it's not, and it actually speaks louder than words and gets people's attention better than fighting back.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a video now that captures just that. This is a young girl who, in a situation where most people would have walked away, she actually gives into this negative situation. Let's check out Mikayla's story.
We have 2 kids, Mikayla and Addison. Mikayla and Addison love church.
When it's time for church, I'm excited to go play with my friends there and learn more about God. My favorite thing is to sit by my friends and watch a video and sometimes sit with my dad.
So one Sunday morning, I was teaching Kid Max 3 to 5, and we were talking about the big idea of loving your enemies. And this is where Mikayla threw up her hand, and she immediately started talking about the struggle she's having at school with a girl bullying her.
We talked, maybe, not play with this person, but don't be mean to them at all. But she really wanted to be friends with this little girl. And then one day she turned to me and she said, "Mom, can I bring a Bible to school?" And I looked at her, I'm like, well, okay, I'd never do that. So she did, and I actually talked to her teacher when I was picking her up. And I said, she brought a Bible to school, I'm not sure. She goes, she brought it into class and was sitting reading the Bible with this girl who was picking on her. And they were both sitting there and were so interested in it. And she's sharing the word of Jesus with her friend who was picking on everybody.
She just talks about it. She acts it out in her everyday life. As a parent, being Christians, you couldn't want more to see your child just absolutely bleed God in every part of their life. And I think that speaks volumes to the teachings of Christ through the Meeting House curriculum.
Wow, that's incredible. Mikayla was really brave to reach out to the girl that bullied her, and look just what happened.
Yeah, she was so creative in how she reached out to her. And now it seems that they share this common interest of reading the Bible together.
And that situation went totally better than any of us could have ever expected. And it really shows us that making peace the way that Jesus does is fun, great, and totally worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into our small groups now to see what Jesus' peace looks like in our own lives.